All right, let's dive in. Today, we are tackling something incredibly powerful, but let's be honest, sometimes a little intimidating. Splunk's Search Processing Language, or SPL. We're going to break it all down and show you exactly how to take all that data chaos and turn it into crystal clear answers. So, let's get right to it.
So, let me just paint a picture for you. You are staring at a screen filled with a million login events. It's a massive digital haystack. And somewhere inside all that noise is the one single needle you absolutely have to find: a hacker trying to get in. So, where do you even start? That's the exact problem we're going to solve.
Well, the answer is pretty simple, actually. You have to learn how to speak the language of your data. And in the world of Splunk, that language is SPL. It's the key to unlocking every single story hidden inside that mountain of information.
So what exactly is SPL? It stands for Search Processing Language. The best way to think about it is like a superpowered command line just for your data. It's built from the ground up to let you search, analyze, and even visualize just massive amounts of machine-generated data. And when I say massive, I mean it.
Okay, so at its core, SPL has this really cool pipeline concept. You start with a big, broad search, and then you use the pipe symbol, that vertical bar on your keyboard, to funnel those results into the next command, which then refines them. You just keep chaining commands together, getting more and more specific with each step. And here's a super important detail that gets everyone at first. SPL is case-sensitive. User with a capital U and user with a lowercase u, those are two completely different things to Splunk. You got to watch out for that.
All right, let's start building out your essential SPL toolkit. Think of these as the must-have commands you'll be reaching for pretty much every single day to get the job done.
And first up is the absolute workhorse of SPL, the stats command. Seriously, anytime you need to count something, summarize data, or do any kind of calculation, this is where you're going to start.
The stats command is just perfect for getting a quick count of things. Like in this example, stats count by status. That will immediately tell you how many 200s, how many 404s, and how many 500s you have in your web logs. It's your go-to for getting that high-level overview in seconds.
But a simple count only tells you what's happening right now. To really see how things are changing over time, to spot those trends and patterns, you're going to need timechart.
Timechart does, well, exactly what it sounds like. It creates beautiful charts against a time axis. This is just brilliant for visualizing trends. Are your website's response times slowly creeping up during the day? A quick time chart will show you that instantly.
Now, sometimes you don't need a full report. You just need to find the outliers, right? The most common or the least common things. Well, top and rare are basically two sides of the same coin. Top will show you your most active users, while rare will point out a weird IP address that's only shown up once. Both are fantastic for super fast analysis. Okay, let's talk about the calculator in your toolkit, the eval command. This is how you start doing math and really manipulating your data. With eval, you can literally create brand new fields right in the middle of your search. Like here, if you've got a duration field and a queue time field, you can just add them together to create a new total time field. It's absolutely essential for any kind of data manipulation. So, what happens when the data you need is just buried inside some messy, unstructured log message? For that, you need to pull out a precision tool, and that tool is regex. Rex is basically a surgical scalpel for your text. It uses regular expressions to let you define a pattern to find and pull out a specific piece of information. So here, we're basically saying, hey, find the word user, and then grab the word right after it, and call that new field user. It is how you create beautiful, structured data out of total chaos. Your data rarely lives in a vacuum. A lot of times, you need to add some outside context to make sense of it all. And that's exactly what the lookup command is for. Think of lookup as a way to mash up your event data with, say, a CSV file or a spreadsheet. You could take a user ID from a log, look it up in a separate employee file, and then add that user's job title or department right into your search results. It's all about enriching your data with more context.
So we've just loaded up our toolkit with some seriously powerful commands. But here's the thing. Having the best tools in the world doesn't mean much if you're not using them efficiently. So now we're going to get into the really crucial part: how to search smarter, not harder. Because when you're dealing with big data, speed is everything.
And here are the golden rules. You want to filter as much as you can as early as you can. Always start by narrowing your time range. Don't search all time if you don't have to. Then tell Splunk exactly which index and source type to look in. The less data Splunk has to even look at in the first place, the blazing fast your search is going to be.
And I mean, look at the difference here. It is literally night and day. The slow way is to tell Splunk, hey, search through everything for the text 404 and then start counting. But the smart way? You tell it first to only look in the web index and only for events where the status is 404. By filtering first, your search becomes orders of magnitude faster. It's a huge difference.
And when you need the absolute maximum speed, there's T-stats. Okay, so stats has to read every single line of raw data. It can be slow. T-stats, on the other hand, runs on pre-summarized indexed information. It's not for every single use case, but when you can use it, it's like taking the express lane on the highway instead of sitting in traffic. It is incredibly fast. Okay, time to put it all together. Let's see how all these commands and these efficiency rules combine to solve a real-world problem, like hunting down a cyber attack.
So here's how we'd find that hacker from the beginning. First, we find our clue. We search our security logs for the specific event code for a failed login. Then, we identify our suspects. We use stats to count up those failures and group them by both the username and the IP address they came from. And finally, the proof. We filter that down to find anyone with more than 5 failed attempts, a classic sign of a brute force attack.
And that right there is the real magic of SPL. It's not just about finding stuff in your data. It's about taking this massive, chaotic wall of noise and transforming it into a clear, actionable signal. It lets you spot that one critical event buried among millions of others.
By mastering these tools and these techniques, you really gain the ability to ask some incredibly powerful questions of your data. So the real question I'm going to leave you with is this: what amazing stories are just sitting there waiting to be discovered in yours?